You're now listening to the best radio station in the world. Rise Up Worldwide Radio.
What's going on, family? Your boys is back in the building. Welcome to the Rise Up Worldwide Show. I am your boy, Chef Rock 516.
Yeah, and it's your boy, Joe Boss Radio. Hit us up on all social media at Joe Boss Radio, at Chef Rock 516. And of course, you are now rocking with Rise Up Worldwide. Listen, man. Listen, we got a packed show for you, man. We got a lot to talk about. All right. First off, I just want to give a shout out to everybody that checked in with us real early. And I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Ron Williams. Shout out to Willie Green from the Green Room Radio Show. That's our brother and a colleague in the faith and radio. You know what I'm saying? I want to shout out to my Aunt Yvonne all the way in North Carolina. Appreciate you. I see you, Sam Lopez and Shalonda Johnson, Naomi Sunshine. We appreciate all of y'all
the love,
rocking with us, man. We here rocking early. You know what I'm saying? So we want to definitely shout y'all out, man. And of course, everybody that rock with us normally, we'll shout you out too in a little bit. But listen, man, we got a couple topics for you tonight. I hope y'all ready because it's fitting to get juicy.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
I had to stutter a little bit. I'm ready. Listen, should we cancel Kirk Franklin? That's the topic of the night.
I'm gonna let you start off, and then
you know what I mean? Well, let's just tell them what we're gonna talk about. Then we'll jump into it. So we're gonna talk about Kirk Franklin and that situation. If y'all don't know by now, there was a recording of Kirk Franklin, and let's just say it wasn't the Kirk Franklin that we have grown to know.
It was not over the GP. Are you with me? It wasn't that one. It wasn't
man.
I smile.
It wasn't the I smile Kirk Franklin.
It wasn't that one.
This was more like Plies.
This was more like
Plies was on. I swear that wasn't Kirk. I think they recorded Plies and just assumed that it was Kirk because you know they like unofficial twins, right? So so we're gonna talk about that.
That was his anger moderator.
Yes. That was the Kirk Franklin anger moderator. Yes. Also, we're going to talk about the legendary boxer Marvin Hagler, who passed away.
Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Get the name. The man changed his name to Marvelous. Legally. Wow. Yeah, because they could put some spec on his name.
I ain't even mad at it. Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Unfortunately, he passed away. Legendary boxer.
Legendary, yeah.
Yeah. And also, for y'all Disney fans and y'all fans of Marvel, you know, Falcon and the Winter Soldier debuts this week.
That's gonna be dope.
That's gonna be dope. And
you know what? I only want one thing. I want Falcon to change his mustache and his beard. Other than that, he's all right with me. He's all right with me. Other than that,
we're gonna talk about it. But I'm really looking forward to it because you know what I mean. I'm really looking forward to it because one, I really love the character of Falcon. You know what I'm saying? Like ever since like he first came in Captain America, like he was just like somebody that was like, yo, I gotta watch him, right? And then the actor himself, like I've seen him in other roles, and every time he never disappoints. He's always very.
Played Tupac. I digress. Continue.
Why you had to go there though? Tupac though, like
I just see his face every time he.
Listen, I hear you, but listen, he was really good
the character,
in The Banker. If y'all seen that movie,
he's a good actor though.
Yes.
I do like him. I'm y'all know me. I'm joking. I kid.
Yeah. So This is a lot. This is a lot for this show, man. So listen, I'm gonna jump into another song real quick, and then when we come back, we're gonna jump right in to talking about Kirk Franklin. Listen, if you're watching us on Facebook Live or if you on the MixLR mobile app, this is what I need y'all to do, because everybody got an opinion, right? And you have the right to share your opinion. So I want you to hashtag it, either cancel Kirk if you think he needs to go, or hashtag don't cancel Kirk if you think he was just being human and he deserves a little bit of grace like we all do. You know what I mean? Right. So
and let's be courteous
and let's be respectful
in the comments. Not saying I don't believe y'all. I'm just saying, because people like to troll.
Yeah.
So don't get all Kurt on them
now. You know what? I can't even with you. Let's do it, man. This track is by B Leaf. It's called Always Black. Y'all know what it is, man. Stay tuned. Stay blessed. Y'all know what it is, man. Rise up worldwide. Listen, if you're just tuning in, I want to shout out everybody. I want to shout out to my twin, Pastor Stephen Parker. Appreciate you tuning in, bro. And I want to shout out Sarah Godino. Appreciate you tuning in. Shout out to the missus, my better half, Mrs. Scott, Mrs. Natalie A. We appreciate you tuning in. So listen, we're talking about Kirk Franklin. And we're going to talk about, if you don't know by now, there was a phone call recorded by his, I guess, estranged son, if you would call it that. In short, he does not have a great relationship with, I believe, his eldest son, right? And the problem, there's been a lot of drama behind all of this. And you know what I mean? Like I said, everybody in the comments, I need y'all to share this episode if you can, please. Just click share, and in the comments, either hashtag cancel Kirk or hashtag don't cancel Kirk, depending on how you feel. Everybody has a right to their opinion, but be respectful if someone doesn't agree with you. That's all I ask. Just be respectful that everybody has a right to feel some kind of way. Either way, right? So let's talk about it. So first off, Kirk Franklin has issued an apology over the recording that was posted, right? Mm-hmm. Because in that phone call that was recorded, you hear him cursing and using a lot of aggressive language towards his son. And it's caused quite of an outrage, right? There's a lot of people who say, oh, you should never talk to your son that way. You should never talk to a child that way. There's a lot of people who feel like, this was a very abusive and disrespectful language. Not saying that I agree. I'm just saying listen, that's what it is.
I'm listening.
Yeah, that's what it is. Now, admittedly, I listened to the recording and I was shocked. I was very shocked to hear that from Kirk Franklin, because Kirk Franklin has been a long time positive influence in my life, from his music, from him being one of the first unofficial gospel rappers, because I really wouldn't consider him a gospel rapper, but he's gotten awards for gospel rap, so he kind of helped pioneer the genre that I so love. He has given many of you who know who he is music to, listen in your cars and uplift you when you've gone through certain situations. So, to hear this side from him is a little bit off of the beaten path, right? Now let's talk about how I actually feel about it. And I feel like sometimes you got to break your foot off in somebody's butt. I just feel like that, because you know what? Here's what I don't like about the video, right? His son is a grown man. His son is in his 30s, right? that means his son is close to my age. I'm a grown man, right? And for him to do that and edit the video to only play the worst part of it, right? And he only played one side of the video, or only played one snippet of the recording. He didn't play anything that he actually said in that conversation, right? Because if it had played the whole conversation, I guarantee you that his tone and his language was just as aggressive, and if not more, because I could imagine what it would take to have Kirk Franklin get that angry to go off like that. You know what I'm saying? So for him to go off like that, you look like you're ready to go on this one.
That's my double dutch.
You know what I mean? For him to go off like that, his son had to do something, right? We don't know what that is, and I'm sure that's probably going to come out later. But he is a man first.
That's what. Okay, let's unpack this thing.
I'm gonna let you jump in. Tag.
Let's unpack this thing, right? First and foremost, this man, he ain't no kid. So everybody that's talking about that he shouldn't talk to that child, he is not a kid. That man is 33 years old.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's 33.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's a different story if he was 7 saying that. Then it's like, all right, Kirk, you know. For one. 2, no, I wasn't surprised. and here's the reason why. I have sons.
Yeah.
I have sons. My oldest will be 20 on Christmas Eve. You feel me?
Yes.
So,
how old are your sons?
They great.
No, say how old.
Oh,
I mean, I know,
well,
but
Jalen's, he'll be 20.
Okay.
Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Chadell will be 17 in a couple days.
Right.
On the 19th.
Right.
Deshaun, he'll be 16 in September.
Right. Those are your oldest.
On the 7th. Those
right.
are my oldest boys.
Right. And then, of course, you have the 2 youngest.
And I got my babies.
Right.
Yair.
And Taya.
Yes.
Right. We're still like 6.
Yes, Yair is 6.
4.
He'll be 7 in May.
Yeah.
And Taya's 5. She'll be
5.
She'll
right.
be 6 in September.
Right.
Those are my babies. And even with check this out. Even with my 6-year-old, he's a boy. You feel me?
Yeah.
He get a little rowdy sometimes, and I got to tune him up.
Yep.
Now I don't talk to him in the same manner that I had to speak to my oldest boys.
Right.
You know, because they, we had a discussion that got heated, and I had to tell them, okay, so if you feel that it's okay for you to speak to me in that manner, then meet me on the street. And then we can talk like grown men on the street.
Yeah.
Since you feel, because the truth of the matter is this, my pops never did a thing for me. Ever. You know what I'm saying? And I still never disrespected that man.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So the thing is for Kirk to black out that way, this is not something that just happened.
No.
And if you look at that young man, you look at his Instagram account, he just looked like he devious. He just has that aura around
rebellious.
him.
Yeah.
Like he just do some trifling stuff.
Yeah.
And him editing that conversation, first and foremost, the fact that he recorded a conversation that you're having with your father shows you where his mind is. First and foremost. 2, people talk about, here's the thing, right? That frustrates me because I would expect this foolishness from people that's not in the faith, right?
Yeah.
But for people that says they're in the faith and they're living this life modeled after Jesus,
yeah,
I'm so sick of how they feel like it's okay for them to measure sins and try to weigh sins out. Oh, Kirk shouldn't have said that. He shouldn't have said this and that and the third to his son, yada, yada, yada. But yet you were just talking about your grandma behind her back.
Talk about it.
You feel me? So now what's the difference between him cursing and you backbiting? Because when God looks at it, at the end of the day, sin is going to be sin.
It's all the same.
Just because that person killed somebody and then that person right there is so dope, at the end of the day, it's going to be sin to God. You feel me? And so people, they get so stuck up in God has removed them from some things and took some things out their life, and then they feel like they can turn their nose up. But the fact of the matter is, none of us is good.
None of us. Not
you
one.
Feel me? And the Bible tells us this. Paul said we have to die daily.
Yeah.
What would be the purpose of him saying that?
That means sometimes if we got to die daily, not physically die, but kill some things that are in us
every single day.
That means we're going to mess up. We're going to say something every now and then that we shouldn't. And we're going to have moments where we're not going to be quite on quote unquote Christian enough.
Because that's not reality.
But see, the problem is this culture nowadays.
This cancel culture.
Cancel culture is the worst because it's a mob mentality. What a mob mentality is, if you mess up one time and we get enough people to focus on this one time you made a mistake, right? They're gonna basically try to take away everything from you because you made one mistake. So they're trying to cancel his career, everything he's got, everything he's done with his music, with Sunday Best, with Christian hip hop,
all the lives he brought to Christ,
all the times that he's helped people, and y'all want to forget that.
But here's the thing,
and say he's
where does the cancel culture come from? It don't come from the church.
No, I don't know about that.
But it's not supposed to.
It's not supposed to.
It's not supposed to.
I agree with that. It's not supposed to.
The church is supposed to be the places of second chances.
Yes.
Right? So it's so much to this, man. Like, how can we be in the world and not of it if we gonna act just like them?
For that reason right there, because sometimes the church is so judgmental and so unrelenting, and so there's so many things that's wrong with it. That's why, for one, with this show, I don't brand it as a Christian hip hop show. I never have. Now, do I play Christian hip hop and gospel R&B and all of that? Absolutely.
You better believe it.
Absolutely, because I believe that's the most positive and inspirational music it is right now. But I will play some music that is quote unquote secular if it's clean and it's got a good message. You know what I mean? Because I'm not trying to preach to the choir and trying to reach people that claim they already know God. I'm trying to reach people who are just regular people. You know what I mean? So I can talk about regular topics and give you some Christianity in it. You know what I mean? If you want it, but I ain't trying to jam it down your throat like some of these places. Because you know what? Sometimes I might drop a few words that I shouldn't. if you take it there, you know what I mean? And I know I feel like that's hereditary because my aunt and my mother, they curse like sailors sometimes.
Listen.
And but it's all love, because at the end of the day, you know what? We are flawed. Kirk Franklin is flawed. So all those people that are trying to hold it against him,
he's supposed to be.
He's supposed to be. But the cancel culture says you're supposed to be perfect. You're supposed to agree with everything. And you're supposed to be exactly what I want you to be, not what you are. You got to be what I want you to be. And if you're not that, I'm going to get this whole mob of people to stalk behind you. Because cancel
as messed up as me.
Because guess what? Cancel culture, but cancel culture applies in any situation. You know what I mean? Like you can't be, you can't say Black Lives Matter, and then you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden you're against abortion, which technically those are on different sides of the fence politically,
right?
You know what I mean? But politically those don't agree. Right. Because Black Lives Matter primarily is a democratic thing, and to be pro-life is primarily a Republican thing. But guess what? I'm for both of those. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So where does that put me? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying that anybody has to be one way.
Cancel
me. I don't care. Guess what? I have my opinion and I have a right to it.
Listen, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing about that cancel culture, right?
Yeah.
That cancel culture is a divide and conquer mechanism.
Yes.
That's exactly what it is.
It's all
and
it is.
And it came about, it was so subtle when it came in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now it just took off because so many people is putting their time and their energy into this whole, let's call it what it is, this whole demonic thing. You know what I mean? Because it's initially set to, it's a bully tactic.
Yeah. It's a
bully tactic.
That's exactly
and
what it
it's
is.
set up to destroy people and to break people down. You know what I'm saying? And again, like I said, this young man knew from the very jump what he was doing, and I can positively tell you, at the end of the day, it has something to do with some money. I can guarantee you it has something to do with some money, right? And probably some money that Kirk didn't want to give him because he probably been giving him money that he been blowing. You know what I mean? Because I mean, it was some article, and I think Sis was reading it, saying that he hasn't had a meal from his father in 7 years. But you ain't starving. You on Instagram with gold and diamonds on and all of that. So like, what is you complaining about?
Man, that's just
when there are really children. You grown, but there's children out here in this world that parents are messed up.
Wow.
And they literally not getting anything from their parents.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
So it's like, yo, you did that, like you was sneaky, you was conniving, you was trifling. Because I don't know nobody, and all the people that I know, I don't know nobody who sits there and records a conversation talking to their parents.
In any case, listen, let's break it up a little bit. I want to play some music. When I come back, I actually got a clip that I want to play from Steve Harvey, who actually had something to say about it as well. All right. So listen, make sure y'all stay tuned and make sure y'all sharing this episode, because listen, a lot of people need to hear about what's going on.
Tag somebody that you know to curse that they kid.
Listen. what he said. That's all.
This one is for you.
Let's do it, man. Rise up worldwide. Stay tuned. Stay blessed.
Yeah.
Listen, man. We got a lot of opinions, and I appreciate each and every one of you in the comments. The conversation and the interaction with you all has been amazing. I appreciate that. What I want to do right now is I want to play a short clip from Steve Harvey and the Steve Harvey Morning Show. That's, for y'all that don't know, that's one of the people that I look up to when it comes to radio and putting this all together. So I got a lot of respect for Steve Harvey. He's somebody else that's flawed. You know what I mean? And that's okay, because we all are. But I wanted to play this clip because it sums up beautifully, the situation. All right. So I'm going to play that for you.
Kirk Franklin has always been there for me. So I called him and I told Kirk, say, Unc, I'm having a tough day today. And I just called him to lift him up, to tell him, no, man, get your head up out the dirt, because you didn't do nothing wrong. See, it's amazing to me. The pain that Kirk Franklin was in was for twofold. First of all, the betrayal of his son. Mm-hmm. That had to be devastating, that you would think so little of me, that you would take me in one of my rawest moments and try to destroy me by posting something that was purely between me and you. And his son knew exactly what he was doing. That's why he posted it. But his son only posted the part that he thought could hurt Kirk. He didn't post the part of what he was asking of Kirk. He didn't post the part of what led up to Kirk's anger. He ain't posted none of the years, like Kirk was telling y'all about the therapy. But I'm telling you for a fact, he didn't post and tell you about none of the years that he's tried to make Kirk feel guilty and drag him through the mud and expect more because Kirk's new family was getting this and he didn't feel like he getting that. When Kirk's new family was bearing the fruits of his labor over the years, Kirk didn't have it to give before. But this young man, this boy, is 33 years old. How you 33 years old posting something your father said? That don't make no sense. That shows you the lack of manhood that this young man has. So now, the other reason, the second part of it that was hurting Kirk so bad was the church. Here y'all come. Here y'all come with y'all's righteous self. Y'all so righteous, man. You can't do nothing when you a Christian. And like every word out of Kirk's mouth got to have crosses on it because he a gospel singer. Kirk was a man before he was a gospel singer. Kirk was a sinner before he got saved. Kirk is a sinner today. But then I got news, church. So are you. Oh, see, y'all just got Kirk's cussing on tape. You trying to tell me Kirk, the only saved person that cuss? Wait a minute. Nephew Tommy has done a series of pranks with church folks.
Yep.
How many times on the prank have we heard some church folks cussing? Oh, Lord, please don't put this on the radio. How many times have you heard pastors that get mad and use profanity? But now Kirk use it. Now all of a sudden y'all ready to ride him to hell. Well, I don't think y'all should do it that way because y'all ain't better than Kirk. I ain't better than Kirk and nobody's better than Kirk. The next thing that y'all need to understand, every man with a grown son, practically all of us done had this conversation with our son. Or we done had to have some come to Jesus meetings with these boys. Because they reach a certain age where they start smelling themselves, and then all of a sudden they buck in the system. Well, when you buck up against me, you running up into manhood over here. And now since you want to act like you a thug and a gangster in here, well, whoa. Let me show you who the real OG is here. And he got a taste of it. Tommy has a son. Jay has a son. Tommy got sons. Jay got sons. I got sons. They done all bit it. They done all felt the wrath. And they had it coming. Just like Kirk's boy had it coming. So for those of you that don't have sons, that don't know how it works, this is how it really go. Kirk been trying to raise that boy for a long time. But nah, man, he's so mad at Kirk because he blaming Kirk. So let me tell you what happens, y'all, for those of you that don't have children. When you have children, and they get to a certain age, they have the power to make decisions. And once your child can make their own decisions, then they're going to end up in some situations based on those decisions that could have been avoided had they not made those decisions. But it's a funny thing when your child, because of a sense of entitlement, thinks that the situation they in becomes your fault. When, oh no, young man, young lady, you made that decision. Not based on nothing I taught you. Even though I forewarned you, you made this decision anyway. So when you make them beds, you got to lay in it. But don't make the bed, and then because you don't like the way the bed lay, you mad at me because you in a bed that's uncomfortable. But it's because of a decision you made. Kirk's Franklin's son done made some decisions. My sons done made some decisions. Tommy's son, Jay's son, Shirley's daughter. Carla got a daughter that's going to come of age that's going to make a decision. And all y'all passing judgment on Kirk's parenting skills, you don't have no kids that have reached the age where they can make a decision. Oh, but that day coming, and you're not going to believe the decisions that they're going to make. So y'all get off Kirk Franklin's back. Because I tell you right now, you're making a mistake. You come over here, you're going to get cussed smooth out. And I do a way better job than Kirk. Way better.
Yeah, and we're going to stop it right there. Because by that clip, I listened to it earlier before I played it for you all. And he was finna demonstrate
Listen,
his cursed ability. So, for y'all that got sensitive ears, I don't want y'all trying to cancel Joe Boss
man, listen.
next.
Listen,
Because
man.
I know how the cancel culture can be.
I did 5 years in prison, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Decisions put me in situations.
Mm.
My mother had every right to curse me out if she felt that way. Because that wasn't the way she raised me.
Wow.
Right? So again, like something he said is clearly you don't have children that's of that age to make decisions that you're not gonna like, that is actually gonna break your heart.
Yeah.
Or you do have them, you've been through it, but you're in denial. Right?
You
and
don't want to believe that it could be your
your
child.
And then another point he made too, which is, I keep harping on this point because it's needed. You feel me?
Yeah.
This whole church culture, like riding every wave that come through, it has to stop. It got to stop, because what we were saying off the show, I know some of y'all on Facebook Live seen us talking, and what I was saying was, can you imagine that back then in the apostle days, that the apostle Paul would have been canceled? So if they'd allowed him to be canceled, where the church would be.
And here's the thing about that. In my opinion, I feel that was the cancel culture, because the cancel culture is what put Jesus on the cross. Despite everything he done for the people in all those places, they turned on him because he said a few things they didn't like. Right?
Well, he said a lot of things.
And he said a lot of things, but essentially, his works definitely, should have, you would think, they would have received what he did for them and rode with him, but they didn't. The cancel culture said, "Oh, you think you're the son of God?" They basically called him a heretic, and they put him on the cross, right? Then they did the same thing to each one of the apostles because they believed that what Jesus did. That's cancel culture mentality. The difference now is that the cancel culture isn't physical death anymore. It's more, they try to put a death to your career,
but that leads to physical death.
It leads to physical death. It leads to mental instability.
Let's put this thing in. Let's put it in perspective.
It puts the whole family
the Ten
around them.
The 10 Commandments say, "Thou shalt not kill."
Right.
He ain't say what shouldn't be killed. He just said, "Thou shalt not kill." So
that's
people,
good.
So people who try to kill people careers, try to kill people dreams, try to kill people aspirations, you're just as guilty as that sin as somebody that caught an actual physical body.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
You're trying to kill his mental state. You're killing his family, the rest of his family, especially y'all that's trying to cancel Kirk Franklin. And then let's be honest, don't be on the other side of cancel culture and try to now cancel his son. No. Because his son needs help.
He needs help.
He needs therapy.
As bad as it is,
he needs help.
Guess what? He made a poor decision. He made a mistake.
He made a poor decision.
As bad as it is.
So if you did a little bit of research, right, you can see that Kirk Franklin went on to I guess his Twitter account, and he apologized for what he did. He apologized basically for everything he said. He said what was not mentioned or you didn't see in that video was that on that same phone call, they actually had a therapist on the phone that was trying to help them through that family matter, right? But his son didn't play that. His son only played the worst part of it. So that's why you can't believe everything you hear without getting all the facts, right? I knew from when I first saw it, it was like, whoa, like I didn't expect to hear that from Kirk Franklin at all. But I will say
I did
that
No, I'm saying because listen, when a person gets fed up, you expect that, and you can hear how fed up he was. You understand?
Yeah.
For him to say everything he said and then just hang the phone up, you can understand where he was at.
Yeah. Yeah.
You feel me? And what we forget is while everybody's sympathizing with the son, we're forgetting how heartbroken that man had to be to utter those words to his son, his flesh and blood. Because mind you, I just told y'all I had a situation with my oldest boys.
Yeah.
And I love them boys to life.
Yes.
To life. You do. You know?
But to get to that level.
And to get to that point, do you understand how heartbroken I was? And I cried and I apologized to them that I got to that place. But I still had but I apologize that I allowed myself to get to that place. I didn't apologize for saying it. You feel me? Because it needed to be said, and those boundaries needed to be set.
That was a tune-up.
I'm your father. You're my son.
Right. That was a tune-up. That's exactly what that was. You had to set your son straight. Like, hold on, don't try me. And I'll give you one of the best examples that I've heard of a situation like that, of when a father tries to test their son. I think it was a TV show or a comedy special I saw, as a matter of fact. The guy said the son continually disrespected the mother, right? So the father stepped in and said, listen, don't talk to your mother that way. And then the son had all of this back talk. I'm gonna do what I want to. He said, okay, now I'm gonna tell you, don't talk to my wife that way. And the son was like, well, what's the difference? He said, you talk to your mother some kind of way, you're wrong. But I'm not going to let anybody talk to my wife some kind of way. Because now you want to be an adult and you're a man disrespecting my wife. We're going to have a different conversation.
Pause.
You know what I mean?
Pause.
And I'm definitely going to put hands on you.
Skibbity pat.
And it ain't going to be a pat on the butt. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to treat you. You want to act like a man? I'm going to treat you like a man. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, wow, to me, that was really good. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you got to go there. And listen, y'all got to understand, I'm a parent now. My daughter is 2.5 years old. If I was to ever get to that level where I was to let her have it like that, I pray to the Lord that I don't ever get there. But even if I was to get there, where I would curse at her and yell at her like that, you got to realize how angry and how bad that situation must be for me to go there. It don't just happen in one shot. It ain't like we had one argument and we went there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's any parent that loved their child. For them to get to that point, it had to be, that's what you call a slow burn. And so for them to have 20 years of therapy, because it was like something like 20 years of therapy. So this ain't nothing new. This is nothing new.
Yeah.
So this like 20 years of therapy.
Yeah.
Family therapy that we're going through. And for you to do this to me shows me that it has not worked. So not only am I hurt by how you are trying to portray me, not only am I hurt, by the, the underhanded way you're handling the situation, but now I'm also hurt because now I feel like I done wasted money.
Wow. You know what? On that note, let's get into some more music, man, because I know we could continue talking about this, but I want to give y'all a chance to catch up and just digest this conversation because it's heavy. It's heavy because, on the flip side, there are other people that feel like Kirk Franklin is wrong because it's abusive in the way he spoke to his son. You know what I'm saying? And it becomes, those are the people who advocate for, sometimes abuse isn't physical, it's mental abuse. They're saying he was mentally abusive.
I'm so glad you said that, right?
Yeah.
Because they're saying that this is abuse because he verbally said this, right?
Right.
But what about the mind games that some of these people who are trying to bash Kirk Franklin have played on people in their lives?
Yeah.
But it ain't abuse because it was you doing it.
Mm.
But when someone with your same mentality, someone with your same greaseball trifling mentality gets it done to them, then you're hollering it's abuse.
Yeah.
Standing with your comrade. Man, listen.
So listen, we're gonna pray that the
back
Franklin
of his
family can
forehead.
get the help that they need. And listen, give the whole point of this, man, is give Kirk Franklin some grace. You know what I mean? Because we've all been there where we said some things or have done some things that we should not have. And we realize that we may not even realize it in the moment, but we realize that we made a mistake. All right. And that's what he did. He made a mistake. He said some things he shouldn't have said. But the worst that happened is he said some things that he shouldn't have said. He didn't physically put his hands on the child. He you know what I mean? But understand that there's more to the story than that. All right. So listen, we're gonna get into some music. We're about to go into the second hour. We got some more topics to talk about. Boxer Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
Yeah, put some spec on his name.
Yes, that's why I had to repeat it. Has passed away. We're gonna talk about that. I got the Invest in Yourself tip coming up because listen, y'all know it's tax season and them stimmies about to come in. So, you know what I mean? We're gonna talk about what you should do with that stimulus check. All right. Listen, stay tuned, stay blessed, rise up worldwide. Y'all know what it is, man. Rise up worldwide. Listen, let's talk about boxing legend, marvelous Marvin Hagler. And the legend that he was, man. Listen, if y'all don't know, he recently passed away. It's still unsure what the cause of his death was, but it was speculated that his cause of death was the COVID-19 vaccination, right? So it's been a lot of uproar about that. People are wondering, if that's what really happened. Did it kill him? You know what I mean? Because it's at any point at this point in our lives, people are just looking for a reason not to take the vaccine, right? The same way that people are looking for a reason not to wear masks, not to believe in science, the whole stupid culture, right?
Right.
Um, I won't even go too far into it, but what I will say is that his wife, actually, her name is Kay Hagler. She actually slapped down those speculations, right? She said that, and I'm quoting this from the New York Post, right? She says, "I do not accept to read some stupid comment without knowing really what happened. For sure, it wasn't the vaccine that caused his death. My baby left in peace with his usual smile, and now is not the time to talk nonsense," right? She smacked all that down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I here's my thing. And I'm not saying it was the vaccine.
right.
What I am saying is that I think it's weird for someone to be of his stature, celebrity wise, that we don't know anything. I think it's kind of weird. You feel me?
Yeah.
You know, Michael Jackson died. The moment he died, everybody knew something. You feel me? Prince. Everybody knew something.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
It's just really weird because she's saying, that, and that he passed in the home, and then I think it was something about the son saying something, and the son saying he was rushed to the hospital and died in the hospital or something. So it's just all over the place.
Yeah, it's a lot of
it's all over the place for me.
False information.
Yeah, so I don't, you know what I mean? I don't know. I you know what? I will say this. I'm sorry for their loss.
Right.
My condolences go out to his family.
Right.
Because he's one of the greatest to ever do it. You know what I mean? To lace up them gloves. I think his record was crazy. His record was something like 67-3.
So I have it up. His record was 62 wins, 3 losses, and 2 draws. But what people don't really know is 52 wins were by knockout.
Right.
Like,
and he didn't.
as a
and them
professional
them
boxer,
losses wasn't knockouts. Them losses was split decisions. I just want to put that out there.
Oh, okay. What do you mean?
He didn't like the fights that he lost wasn't because he got knocked out.
Oh, was it because
okay? Those were split decisions.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, nah.
Okay,
nah.
That's crazy.
He did the knocking out.
But y'all. I don't know if y'all understand how crazy that is. Like, we're talking about professional boxers, right? People that fight literally for a living. You know what I'm saying? These ain't just street boxers. These are people who get up every single day of their life, train to duck, dodge, and swing to knock you out. And in 62 of his professional fights, he knocked people down. And they didn't get up.
52 times.
52 times. Out of his 62 or 60, was it 67 fights? Right? Because he had 3 losses, which were split decisions, and 2 times it was a draw. Right? But 52 times he knocked people out.
He whooped on Tommy the Hitman.
You understand what I'm saying?
Hitman Hearns, the same one that whooped on Martin, he whooped on him.
I think he might be more famous for that Martin whooping than anything else.
One thing too, one fight. Well, it's a couple of fights. That Roberto Durant fight. He was robbed in that fight, and that Sugar Ray fight.
Yeah.
That Sugar Ray Leonard fight, he was robbed in that fight too. He was whooping on Sugar.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just keep it 1,000 with you.
Yeah.
He was whooping on. I literally just watched this fight last night. He was whooping on Sugar. Right? And Sugar ducked him for mad years. I forgot how long it was, but Sugar ducked him for years. And so after they gypped him and took that fight from him, that he retired right after that.
He was like, I'm done.
Yeah, he retired. He had moved to Italy. And he was over in Italy. He had became like a movie star or something.
Wow.
And then he moved back to the States. Yeah, man. His name is Marvin Hagler. He legally changed his name because the people who was calling the fights didn't want to call him Marvelous. So every time you know the thing, Pretty Boy Floyd, Iron Mike Tyson, you know what I mean, Tommy the Hitman Hearns, everybody's name was called, but they didn't want to call his name. And so he went and legally changed his name to Marvelous Marvin Hagler. So they had no choice but to call him Marvelous. That's my guy.
Wow. And I'm looking at his records, right? And this is, y'all can look this up on Wikipedia, right? He has the world record for highest knockout percentage of all undisputed middleweight champions at 78%. Simple numbers. If he fought 10 times, 8 of them, he was knocking them out. Like they're not getting back up.
Back to back.
You know what I mean? He was going to win probably 9.5 of them.
Yeah.
If not 10 out of 10.
And then mind you, and then he was the undisputed middleweight for 7 years, from 1980 to 1987. That's a stretch.
That's a stretch. 7 years? They said he had 12 title defenses. 12 times somebody challenged him and he beat him. That's crazy. Consecutive.
Yeah.
Consecutive. Because I'm looking at the record. 12 consecutive wins. Yo, that means his hands work.
Listen, all you got to do is you go on YouTube, and I think it might be a thing on him too on Amazon Prime. You can watch it and watch this man. And when they talk about the sweet science, the art of hitting and not getting hit, he was about that.
He was about that life.
He was about that. He was about that.
Man, that's so crazy, man. That's so crazy. You know, But listen, man, we definitely wanted to show respect and honor to the man because he did a lot. And y'all gotta remember too, he came up in the late 70s and 80s, or 1973 to 1987 was his actual career. In the 70s and 80s, that was right in the black exploitation era, the beginning of hip hop with Cool Herc. You know what I'm saying? Like he was around and a symbol for black people in a lot of things. You know what I mean? Especially when we were being persecuted and we were still kind of fighting for our civil rights. You know what I'm saying? Like he was a person that stood tall. And you know, he as a boxer, as a professional boxer in sports, he was a symbol for us. You know what I mean? Of how to be successful, you know? And like you said, he had to change his name legally to Marvelous Marvin Hagler because they didn't want to give him the respect that he deserved. You know what I mean? He was born Marvin Nathaniel Hagler, but he changed it at some point to legally Marvelous
Listen,
Marvin
they
Hagler.
said I was watching a documentary, right, bro?
Mhm.
And they say, you know, it's certain points in your skull where your skull is thick at certain areas.
Mhm.
Every human, but the most is like a quarter of an inch thick.
Mhm.
They're like his was like an inch thick. Like he was just born to fight.
Wow,
Like he was just born to fight.
that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
man.
so crazy.
Listen, man, you want to watch some clips? Watch some highlights. Watch some highlights, man. That man was vicious, man. Like they better be glad Kirk ain't know him. I'll tell you, if Kirk would have been back in Houston. He'd been back in Texas getting crazy with it.
Yeah. So let's get back into some music, man. This next track I'm playing is in honor of Kirk Franklin and Marvin Hagler. To remember, and make sure y'all remember to try Jesus. Don't try me.
Don't try them.
All right. Stay tuned. Stay blessed.
Let go.
Let's go.
We back. Listen, Facebook, stop playing with me because I fights. Listen, anytime somebody say they don't say the whole word and they chop words up, you gotta watch them. They dangerous. Like one of my cousins said in Alabama, he ain't say I am danger. He said I danger.
I danger.
Yeah, them the kind of people you don't want to mess with. When they start cutting stuff off like that, you don't want to mess with them kind. You know what? My daughter be chopping words like that. I got to watch her. Tell you, I got to watch her. She ain't got no problem throwing them hands. So I make sure she on the right track.
Yeah.
So y'all help me pray for
sure.
her. Yeah,
for sure.
Help me pray for that one,
man.
Is she the baby? You know, man.
Listen, man. Y'all know what time it is. I'm about to give y'all the invest in yourself tip for the week. And this week, we're going to talk about that stimmy, all right? That stimulus check. And as a bonus, it's also tax season. So your bank account could be looking real right real soon, all right? So let's talk about it. So we all know that it was just passed from President Joe Biden, the coronavirus relief.
Hey, Joe.
The bill is signed, is going to release 1.9 trillion as a coronavirus relief package, right? What that means for you and me, that's a lot of money, right? The stimulus checks are going to be issued in the amounts of $1,400 per adult and child, or child and adult dependent, right? Such as college students or elderly relatives, right? The adult dependents, though, they're not eligible to receive those payments in the first two rounds, but now they are. So let's talk about it, right? So let's say you get your $1,400 from your stimmy, and I don't know, let's say you get another $1,400, $2,000, right? Let's just round off and say you got $3,000. I don't know if that's going to be more or less than what you actually get. But between the two, let's just say on average, you get about 3,000, right? The first thing you want to do is not go shopping your way to being broke again. That's the first thing. Discipline yourself to not shop your way to broke again. Now, I'm not saying not to buy things you actually need, but there's a difference between wants and needs. Big difference, right? You know what I mean? Like, I want a new car, but I have a car already, so I don't need a new car. I just need to take care of the one I have. You could want a new outfit, but you don't necessarily need a new outfit or need to spend your money on the new Jordans or need to spend your money on some Gucci or whatever it is, because you don't really need that, right? That's flexing. And who are you flexing for? Because after they see it the first time, they're not going to care about it the second time. They're not going to care, right? So don't worry about that. But what you want to do is start thinking about how you can manage your money. So the first thing, I always, and I truly believe in this, right? You want to tithe. Some of you may not be religious or in a church. So you don't have to necessarily tithe to a church, right? Your tithing could go to your charity of choice, because a foundational law that the Bible teaches us is whatever you sow, you will reap. Your tithing is sowing a seed of helping others, and in return, God in his word will turn around and bless you more. Whether you believe in it or not, it's a principle that was set up by God that will apply. So tithe, right? Then after you tithe to your church or charity, tithe to yourself. Tithe to yourself. What does that mean? Take your 10% and put it in the bank for a rainy day for yourself. This is money you're not going to spend. Put it, invest it in the market. Buy you some Bitcoin. Buy you some life insurance. I can help you with that. Right? Tithe to yourself. Now, what do you do with the rest of that 80%? Right? Now, you can take that money and start investing in yourself, quite literally. Here's some ways that you can invest in yourself. You want to maybe take a class to help you improve in a skill set, right? Maybe you want to buy that book or that audio book to help you become a better person, right? Maybe you could be a chef, and I'm just using you as an example, Rock.
All right now.
You wanted to buy some equipment that you could use in the kitchen, a brand new knife set, a brand new, I don't know, a blender, mixer, something.
I'm definitely about to get a juicer. Let me get me a stimmy.
You understand what I'm saying? Something that you could use, to help increase your earning potential. Because guess what? The economy's changing. The economy has changed, right? Restaurants have had to adapt to basically a carry-out only model for a long time. And you know what? You know who was ahead of the game and who was ready for the current economy? Amazon.
Was they?
They were ready because they've been on 2-day delivery long before the actual pandemic.
Yeah.
So they already had the infrastructure, right? So when everybody else was going out of business, they were hiring because their business grew so fast. Now Amazon, they don't even use FedEx no more. They got their own delivery trucks. Like, I'm telling y'all right now, the Amazon drivers is like Santa Claus in the hood. Every day you be waiting on him like, come on, Amazon, let's go. And that's because they invested in their business, right? You are your business. You are the business. Whether you own your own business or whether you're an employee of a company, that you be an employee of another company, all that is you contracted yourself to work for that company for X amount of dollars, either per hour or per year. You've contracted yourself. So you are in business with your employer. So as a businessman, businesswoman, business person, you have the obligation to invest in yourself and increase your earning potential. What does that mean? Increase your earning potential. When you do that, you give yourself options. You give yourself options to say, if this contractor that I have hired to pay me for my work, if they don't pay me what I'm worth, I now have the right to go seek another contractor who will pay me what I'm worth. Because I have now invested in myself and I've made myself better and I've put myself in a position where I can earn more.
That's right.
So invest in yourself.
That's right.
That's what you got to do with this tax return and stimulus. And then you know what? At the end of the day, after that's all said and done, you still got a little bit of money left. Buy yourself something nice.
Show you right.
Just don't get crazy with it. Don't blow your whole stimulus on something stupid. Like, your stimulus check isn't for you to go and spend the whole thing on that brand new Fendi or Gucci bag or some red bottoms, right? You have literally blew the opportunity for the government to help you get to the next level. You literally blew your money, and you're making whoever owns Gucci or Fendi or whoever, you're making them money off your check. If y'all haven't noticed, particularly in minority communities, and I'll say it, the Black community, they target us first when it comes to these stimulus packages.
What?
Yo, I remember, was it last year or the year before, every tax returns started coming out and everybody started getting them around early March, you know what I mean, April. Tell me why Beyonce was out here having concerts for a G a ticket.
Mm-hmm. Let me go and get your tax money.
You understand what I'm saying? Because she knew you was going to use your tax return and you was going to pay it.
Mm-hmm. Because y'all beehive, you know.
Because the beehive is strong. Yeah. She invested in herself by being prepared for it.
Yeah.
She took advantage of the market. She said, look, I know y'all going to pay for it. I can charge this amount in April and March and April because y'all just got y'all checks.
And y'all gonna
do it.
To spend this $1,000.
Y'all was ready to go to a Beyonce concert. I ain't never seen Beyonce live. Probably might not ever.
Not for $1,000, I won't.
Not for a G. I won't see Beyonce live up until she Patti LaBelle's age.
What? Well, her tickets is $25.
You understand what I'm saying? It'll be the reunion tour.
And I'll be like SWV. I'll be right there.
You understand what I'm saying? That's when I'll see Beyonce live. But before I pay that. And listen, there's no disrespect to Beyonce. She out here killing the game.
No, she put in the work to be able to charge that
amount of money. So right.
I ain't knocking her.
She's had some amazing strategies when it comes to the way that she's marketed herself. She was the first person to drop a secret album and it'd be the best-selling album she's ever had.
You know what? I'm gonna let you finish with your investing yourself too. Because speaking of Beyonce,
yeah,
you know Jay-Z done sold Tidal.
We'll talk about that. We could talk about that, but I'm done with the invest in yourself.
Yeah,
my point
I
is,
want to interrupt that.
Yeah.
That's good stuff right there.
Thank you. But the point is, invest in yourself. You know what I mean? Don't blow it. Invest in you to make you better. And I'm done with the invest in yourself.
And for all y'all that's out there that's not saved and you in them streets, don't go get no pack. I need to say that because somebody need to hear that.
Wow.
Don't go get no pack. You feel me? Because somebody just got killed. This dude just killed his girl and some more people in the house over the stimulus money. And just looking at his picture, he wanted to go get a pack. I can tell. I've been there before.
Wow.
So you can tell that energy. Don't listen. The amount of time they giving out for the amount of money you gonna make off that pack ain't even worth it.
That's crazy.
Ain't even worth it. And let's be real. Everybody's so mad and talk about how 6ix9ine told. But guess what? It's a lot of 6ix9ines out there.
It sure is.
And if you think you're gonna sell drugs at this day and age and you're gonna get away with it,
Good luck.
let me tell you something, my friend.
My friend.
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. That's why I really value and I pray and I hope, man, that our listeners really value these invest in yourself tips. Because there are these are ways for us. I don't exclude myself from y'all. These are ways for us to get on better financial footing.
Yeah.
And it's important. I
Yeah.
mean, look at the times. And it's 2021. You feel me? I literally just had a birthday. I literally just got a year older. You feel me? And so trust me, I think I look pretty good, but I ain't getting no younger. You know what I'm saying? So you got to take that into account. You got to start taking that into account, man.
Yeah.
And you know, if anybody wants a Cash App or Mazel, but seriously, man, take notes, man. Of these, and I don't say these tips are well worth it just because it's my brother. I'm saying it because they are, because not many people, and that's like a major pillar too in financial literacy is to pay yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we don't do that.
Yeah.
We don't do that. Instead we find ways to have pay somebody and then waste money. Not literally pay ourselves, but waste. You know what I mean? So that tied yourself after you tied the good Lord.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm telling you, tied the good Lord.
Yes.
Tied the good Lord. Trust me.
Yes.
Trust me. If he can trust you with this little $1,400, then he'll be able to trust you with something major.
Next time he might give you 14,000.
You know,
see what you do with it.
Process. Don't skip the process.
Man. So listen, this is what we're gonna do, man. Let's get to some music. When we come back, you got a recipe for us, Chef?
Oh man.
I'll let you think about that.
I think about it.
If you might give us a recipe, because we're gonna be ending the show when we come back.
We come back. It's late.
It is late. I don't want y'all trying to get hungry and then go to sleep. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Unless you got a juicer, then Actually, you know what? Real quick, I can give you something. If you're out there, if you're like many of us who's been who done got this pandemic weight, you trying to get this pandemic weight off of you, there is a fat burner that I have been trying.
Okay.
Right?
Wait. Save it.
Okay.
Save it. When we come back, there you go. All right. Y'all know what it is. Rise Up Worldwide. Stay tuned. Stay blessed. Yeah. Rise up. You know what we do, man.
Yo, I really hope y'all enjoyed it before I get into this little stomach fat burner. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all straight up, it is not the best tasting thing. However, I will say it is working. It's working. I actually I don't normally do the checking yourself in the mirror every 5 minutes because you're working out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I just kind of happened to bypass the mirror. It was like, okay. You know, but you can feel the difference too. But anyway, so you want to take about 3 pints of water, right? That's literally like 3 of these.
Okay.
Literally like
3 bottles of water. Okay.
And you wanna peel 2 lemons. Put the lemon peels in the water. You wanna peel about off a clove of garlic. You wanna peel about 3 pieces. 3 pieces in whole. Drop them in the water, and then you wanna put about 2 pieces of ginger after you done peel the ginger. An easy way to peel the ginger is to use a spoon. It's very, very easy, very quick. You don't have to worry about cutting yourself. Um, and you put that in there, and you let it boil for about 15 minutes. 10, 15 minutes. Then you want to take it off the fire, let it cool. Once it cool, you want to take the ginger, the lemon peels, and the garlic out of the pot and put them in your blender. Now, you want to cut the 2 lemons. You want to cut them in quarters. Slice them in half and cut them in quarters. Right? So you should have about 8 pieces.
Okay.
Per lemon. Right? And then you want to drop them in there. Make sure you remove the seeds and drop them inside the blender fresh.
Yeah.
Right? Add a little bit of the liquid that you boil just so it blends in real good. Once it breaks down and blends real good, then you want to add the rest of the liquid to the blender and blend it one last time for about 2 minutes. Then you want to strain that liquid from the blender. Use a strainer and strain it back into the pot. Right? So now you got all of the ginger, you got all the garlic, you got all the lemon in the lemon peel. Right? And then you can either do it by cup. When you make a cup, you use a teaspoon or so of, you use a teaspoon of honey or maybe 2 teaspoons of agave nectar. I just added the agave nectar to the pot.
Agave nectar, okay.
Yeah, I to the pot because I didn't want it. I wanted it to not be so powerful going down, but I didn't want to make it sweet. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to make it sweet.
Okay.
Sometimes when you making something, you want to feel like it's working.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, when I drunk, so I didn't use enough water when I made it, so I had to add more water to it.
Okay.
Right. Because the first half a cup I took, oh my goodness. Oh my Lord. I said never. Like, what? Like Ja Rule, never again. Never again. But I'm telling you, like when you drink it, you feel it.
Yeah.
You feel it in your stomach, like you feel the heat in your stomach.
Yeah.
And so like I definitely been noticing some difference, like when I've been going to the gym and it's been, stomach day. Yeah. And you doing crunches and
you
stuff.
feel it.
You feel it. You definitely feel the difference. So anybody, I'm telling you, if you want to use it, to me, I see the difference. If you do it, go to the Rise Up page, let us know, man. After your first 5,
for sure,
your first 5 days, let us know, how it's going for you. Is it working for you? Is it just one of those things that hit you right here and you just be like, let us know, man.
Yeah.
But I think it's important, man. Because that pandemic that kept us in the house. So it ain't but a few things that you can do on the pandemic.
Man,
eating has definitely been one of them.
Whew.
And the babies is proof of the rest of it. So,
man.
So it's time to get healthy. Not simply just for, because a lot of people's like, oh, the weather gonna break. It's summertime and people trying to get their summer bodies ready. No, get yourself healthy.
Yeah.
Get yourself healthy so that you can be healthy in other areas of your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because when you're healthy, then your mind is healthy.
Your mind is healthy.
Once your body healthy, your mind is healthy.
Yep. That's it.
And a lot of us, we it's hard to focus on things like invest in yourself or your next move with your business and everything.
Yeah.
When your temple's not together.
Man.
Yeah.
Man.
So that is the recipe from the chef's table. I'll be letting y'all know how it's working. So about next week will be about 2 weeks, I believe.
Yeah. Yep.
It'll be about 2 full weeks of me being back in the gym and everything. So I'll be letting y'all know how it's going down.
Yeah. That's what's up. I've been going to the gym strong now, probably like about 2.5 months. And I could definitely say I'm starting to feel a difference. I know that my workouts have become much more intense than what they were.
Yeah.
And that's because I just feel better. You know what I mean? Like I'm able to do more than when I first started. Now I don't know why I listened to you and I started doing these supersets this week. But I mean, because after I came from the gym this morning, I was knocked down for a little bit. But I'll get used to that soon enough. You know what I mean? And I'll, it's a different pump to your body and to your muscles. Just basically you're just doing it faster. Yeah, you know what I mean? Different shop. You know what I mean? Yeah. Don't worry, but before you know it, before I know it, I'll be doing it even more. You know what I mean? Listen, I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. Yeah, I've been doing these supersets and all that good stuff, but I tried that stair step machine. That was it. Yeah, that ain't for the faint at heart. No. You got to be real. So yeah, ladies, this is still Women's History Month. Women's History, yeah. I salute y'all because I be seeing y'all on that stair thing. Y'all the truth. I did 3 minutes on that. I was like, yeah, nah, I ain't built for this. I have not built for this. Man, I had to quit. I'll be back, but I had to quit this time. Yeah. Next time I try it, it'll be 4 minutes. For sure. And that's it. Just slow walk it, man. Take your time. You not working on anybody's time but yours. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because it's easy. Well, not easy, but people love to get in shape real quick. And then they just be in shape for the moment. Yeah. You know what I mean? You try to be healthy for life. You for sure. You want it to be a lifestyle thing. Yeah. Not just for the moment. For sure. Well, listen, thank you, Chef. Appreciate it. You know what I mean? With the recipe from the chef's table. You know what I mean? We appreciate that. Listen, man, we want to thank y'all for rocking with us these past couple hours. Yeah. And listening to the show, man. I hope y'all got something out of this, man. We had a great conversation talking about Kirk Franklin. We had a great conversation about Marvin Hagler. I think the Invest in Yourself and the recipe from the chef's table were all official. You know what I mean? So, listen, we appreciate y'all, man, and we thank y'all, and we love y'all. But listen, stay tuned because we will see y'all next week on the same bat time, same bat channel. You already know this. Stay tuned. Stay blessed. And we're going to end it out with some more music.
Now, listening to the best radio station in the world. Rise Up Worldwide Radio.